everyone. Welcome back to Good Morning Arkansas. Now, the holidays are stressful enough on their own, right? They can be expensive. Now we have the added stress of COVID on top of a lot of things. But what about the stress of dealing with difficult family members? Well, joining us here this morning is mental toughness expert Eric Rittmeyer. You're going to give us some maybe tips and tricks as to how we can kind of manage that stress through the holidays. So, Eric, I'll just go ahead and jump into this first question. Why should we all learn how to maybe respond to difficult family members as opposed to reacting to them?
That's the funny thing. That's the difficult thing, Victoria. You know, as humans, we're hardwired to feel first and think later. So when we react to a situation, it's emotion-based. It's knee-jerk. We say things and do things we're probably going to regret. When we respond, we process information logically. So it gives us an opportunity to digest what someone has, formulate a response, and then go back at them. When we drive on emotion, we're going to say things and do things that we're going to regret. It happens 99.9% of the time.
Right, absolutely. And what are some tips maybe that you have for remaining calm in volatile situations?
We have to prepare ourselves. You know, it's just like if you're on a diet and you're going somewhere to eat. If you know there's going to be bad food, eat a head of lettuce before you go, right? Or drink a bunch of water so you're not there like waxing 18,000 chocolate chip cookies and pumpkin pie. It's the same thing when you're dealing with people. If you're going to be in situations where you know they're going to be there, you know, the cousin Eddies that are going to be there just poking and prodding at you. If you know you're going to be in those situations, prepare for it. This is called systematic desensitization. I have no idea how to spell either one of those words, but you just desensitize your brain. So when you get put in these situations and somebody says something, you're prepared for it. So again, you can respond as opposed to react.
Wow, that's really interesting. I like you comparing it to the diet, and you're so right? So I always feel like we walk into those situations when we are dieting where, you know, a box of donuts show up or something like that. But if you do prepare yourself ahead of time, you're not going to be as tempted to give in to those things that would break your diet. So that's a really good kind of comparison there, Eric. So you say we need to do something like suspend our disbeliefs. What does that mean exactly?
We all have these belief systems, right? I mean, these are things that we feel internally. We have these strong in our heart. We feel a certain way about things. When we approach someone and when we're in the environment of someone else who has an opposing point of view and someone who might have a conflicting belief, what we have to learn to do is to set ours aside. So whatever we believe, whatever we think, we have to set that aside and just make that other person feel like we're listening to them. As a society, we've gotten away from being good listeners. We're listening with the intent to reply, not with the intent to understand. So when we have a conflict with someone else, we don't have to make them feel like they've won, or we don't have to feel like we've won. We just want that person to feel like, you know what, I disagree with Victoria, but at least she heard me out. At least she listened to me. That's all I really need at the end of the day. Let's go eat bread and let's go eat cranberry sauce, which I don't like cranberry sauce, any of that stuff, but let's just go have fun with it, right? We don't have to be upset with each other.
Right, absolutely. And we know it's been a very electrically charged year with people having a lot of differences. So I think that's a really, really good reminder to just have in the back of our head, Eric, that just listening to people, I think, can be a really good thing, especially our family members, right? Because we're in it for the long haul with them. So, Eric, we all have things that do trigger us, though, however. So how can we be prepared if one of those triggers eventually are hit?
Yeah, and it's not a matter of if, you know it's going to happen, right? And it's when you least expect it. So going back to the diet analogy, if we can just run all these things through our mind, and I hate to make this sound like a school assignment, right? We're going to have fun, we're going to meeting with family, but you do kind of have to prepare for them, because if not, when somebody hits the trigger, we go off. And the issue is, as humans, we don't know that we're responding emotionally. So if we can proactively put ourselves in those situations and say, okay, when this trigger happens, everything that follows it is not really going to be how I feel. It's like the whole thing about drinking alcohol, right? They say sober thoughts are drunk words. What you say when you're drunk is what you really mean when you're sober. So if we know the triggers are there, trigger's been hit, our flips off in our mind, okay, what's getting ready to happen now? It's going to be emotion. I have to control it. We have to prepare. It's all about preparation.
Absolutely. Great stuff, Eric. I feel like I could listen to you talk all day. You know your stuff so well. And if our viewers at home maybe want to learn more about this or hear you give some more tips and tricks on anything related to mental toughness, because that's your thing, right? Where could they maybe find more information or more things about you?
Thank you, Victoria. I appreciate that. My website's best. It's mentaltoughnessspeaker.com, and I'm all over Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all over the place. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, hey, until next time, Eric, thanks so much. Happy holidays to you, and thanks for coming on with these tips and tricks. We will have more Good Morning Arkansas on the other side of this break.
Thank you, Victoria.